Hi everyone, Tracy here with Paper Closet Designs. In today's video, we are going to assemble 3 new curvy cards. Curvy cards or bendy cards, depends on where you look what they're called. I call mine a curvy card. And what they are is a card that lays flat in an envelope, and then when you open it up, you can kind of bend it and it will display. These are a 5x7 card, and they fit a 5x7 or an A7 envelope. So this is the teacher one, and I've already done a video. I did the teacher, and then I did one that was a graduation, and I've already given that one away. And they fit in these 5x7 envelopes. They have a liner. You just fold them up and mail them. And these are sold separately. The file for this is sold separately. So you can go ahead and get that, and there will be a link to it. But today we're going to do 5 of the bugs. So I've got a bee card. This one says Be Happy. This one is already assembled. I'm going to show you another one today that is exactly like it. I just cut it out of some different colored paper. But I'll show you how to assemble this one as well. So I have a ladybug, a bee, and a butterfly. Let's start with the ladybug. And they all come with a printable sentiment. And the sentiments are a little bit different. If you don't like the sentiment that's on there or you want to change it up, I have another video on my channel. It's not for these cards, but it shows you how to add or change or completely delete the sentiment. So if you wanted this, you could change it to say happy anniversary or something else, or you could just leave it blank and do a stamp. You could handwrite something on there, or you could even take the sentiment out completely and fill it with or cut it from a solid colored paper or printed paper and not have a sentiment on it. I will show you on the back of these, there's plenty of room to write your notes or to do anything that you want, some more hand stamping or anything that would you like. Okay, so let's start with our butterfly. I'm going to push these other 2 out of the way. And it comes with the happy birthday sentiment. It has 2 flowers for the front of the card. And then it has 2 larger flowers for the back. So we're going to move those. It has your ladybug. And then the card pieces are, you have this front piece. You have a middle piece with the 2 decorative edges or decorative panels, and on these they're supposed to look like grass, so you're probably going to want to cut those out of green paper. If you don't want the grass, you can either not cut them out or just do some squares. And then we have the back of the card with the 2 decorative embellishment panels. Let's go ahead and assemble the pieces first that are going to go on there. This one is really simple. So for the butterfly, you're just going to glue the red piece to the black piece. I just filled my glue before we started this video, so hopefully it won't run out this time. We're just going to add that right there. And then with all the flowers, we're just going to glue the flower center to the petals. So you have 2 big ones and 2 smaller ones. Grab those 2 smaller ones. You can cut these out of any color that you want to match your card. If you wanted to do pink and blue, anything that your favorite color or that matches your card. Okay, so slide those over, and now we're going to go ahead and assemble the card. So the first piece is we have this back piece, and it has a score line right down the middle, and then it has 2 little markers. So I'm going to fold that over, and the markers just help you align excuse me, help you align that middle piece. However, when you add your decorative pieces, they're going to be covered up, but I left them there so that if you're not adding the decorative pieces, you can find it a little bit easier. So we're just going to add some tape to these, and I think these decorative elements or panels, whatever you want to call them, would be a lot of fun cut out of some printed paper, pattern paper. You could set it up as a print and cut with your digital paper. All right, so once those are on there, we're going to go ahead and take our two large flowers, and they get glued on the back. And you want them kind of towards the top so that they can be seen, but you don't want them hanging off. If they're hanging off, they're not going to fit in the envelope. And I'm going to kind of get those leaves so that they lay down pretty flat. Not the leaves, the petals. Okay, so that's done. We're going to push that to the side for just a second, and we're going to take our middle piece, and it has 4 score lines. I don't know if you can see that on the camera or not, but there's 1 on each tab and then 2 down the middle right next to this little stand piece. So we're going to fold those all down. And then we're going to take our grass and we're going to glue it down onto that stand. And it just goes right in between the 2 score lines, with the edge of the grass kind of even with those tabs. Now we're going to put tape on the 2 tabs. Fold them down under. And to add this middle piece, you want to line up your center along the center of your card and the bottom along the bottom of the card. Don't push it down until you've got it the way you want it. And then go ahead and press those tabs. And when you open it up, it should pop open like that. Okay, let's add our ladybug, and we don't want to get glue on the sides of here because then it won't pop up open. So we're only going to put glue along this stand piece right here in the middle. So what we'll do is we're going to lay it down and kind of decide where we want our ladybug. Now he can be to the side, he can be standing straight up. I'm going to kind of put it at an angle. Whatever you do, you want to make sure that the antennas don't poke out over the edge of the card, or again, it won't fit in the envelope. So I'm going to just kind of mark that with my finger, and then take my glue and just glue the stand. So can you see how I've just got glue right there on the stand piece and not anywhere else? Go ahead and lay that down, put that ladybug back there, and press it, and then just make sure that it pops up. And if you want to mash it down so that it's really nice and flat, hey, that's all there is to that piece. So now for the front piece, it's pretty much the same. We're going to take these 2 tabs and we're going to fold them down. And then before we add the flowers, we are going to add the sentiment. And one thing that I normally do, and I forgot to do it on this, is and I can't now because I got tape on it, is I usually take this between my thumb and my finger and just curve it a little bit just to train it. This will be okay though. We're going to add that sentiment. And then we're going to add our flowers. Now I designed it so this is smaller than the actual flowers. It just gives it a placement without showing through on the flowers. And if you need to, you know, raise the flowers just a little bit so you can see your sentiment, you can do that. Oops. Okay, now we're going to put tape on these two tabs. And they're kind of big tabs, so that gives it some strength and they're not going to pop off. We're going to fold those down and then bring our card back. And after you've folded the tabs down, you are going to put the edge of the fold right along the edge of the card, and we're going to match the bottom. So I'm going to work in this corner first, and then we're going to do the same thing. Bring this over, match that, and the corners, the bottom. Oops, I got glue on that and it's sticking. Okay, there we go. So there is our happy birthday Ladybug card. So it just fits nice and flat in the envelope and then pops open for you to display. Okay, let's do our bee next. So Be Happy is this one, and it pretty much is the same thing. So we have, this one has 3 bees. 2 go on the front and 1 goes on the back. So the bees have a background with the wings, the body, and then the stripes. And the one that goes on the back has the same thing. And the one that goes on the side has 1 extra piece. So it has, whoops, I keep dropping it. It has the body, or the back with the wing, 1 wing. It has the body, it has the stripes, and then it has the second wing is separate. I'll glue that together here in just a minute. Our front piece has the sentiment on it. Our middle piece has the beehive, which is 2 pieces. The beehive and then the outside piece, and it has 2 flowers. This one does not have the decorative panels. It's just a solid color. And then we have 2 more flowers. And instead of decorative panels for the back card, I've cut out and given you the honeycombs. And then we have our card. So let's go ahead and assemble these pieces first. So we have the beehive. We're just gonna put some glue on there. And I'm just using a quilling bottle that I bought off of Amazon. And I fill it up with my favorite glue. And that gives it that needle point, so it's really easy to get just a little bit of glue instead of a lot. Pat that down. Okay, so there's our beehive. The first bee, I'm going to glue the body to the background with the wings. And then we have the stripes, and all I'm going to do is put glue on the tail, the 2 stripes, and a little bit of the neck. There's no headpiece right here, so you don't want to glue the head or put glue on the head, or it's just going to stick to your table. Get that down flat. There we go. Okay, then we have a second one that's just the same. They're the same size, so if the pieces get mixed up, it's fine. Put him together. These bees go together the same way as all of my bee projects. And if you like bees, I have a whole bunch of bees listed. In fact, I'm going to show you really quick. I just did a video with these. These are the little pyramid boxes. And they all have a saying on the back of them, be happy. So that's another bee file. I've got a bee dome card. I've done a bunch of different size cards. So if you like bees, you've come to the right place. All right, back to this one. We're going to do the last bee. This is the one that has the 2 separate wings. I'm just going to glue my little body on there. Kind of looks like a lemon, just the body itself. And the bee, and again, we're just going to put it on the tail and the stripes and a little on the neck. And then the second wing. Now on the bees, I cut out the wing pieces with a really light gray cardstock. I have also done them with vellum, and that is really pretty to have just the vellum leaves showing. I really like that look too. Okay, then finally we've got the 4 flowers, 3 different sizes. So you'll want to make sure that you get the right middles in there. We have 1 large, 2 mediums, and 1 small. Oops, get in the middle. There we go. Okay, there's our flowers. Now let's assemble the card. So I'm going to take my card base. I'm going to fold it in half. I hope I've picked up some pop dot covers. I'm going to fold it in half. And then I will take these honeycombs and we're going to glue them to the back. Just put glue along the edges, and then if you want to, you can add a drop or 2 here and there on the back. If you use a white glue that dries clear, it'll be fine even if they seep through just a little bit. And then just kind of center that. And you could do this background, this honeycomb background, out of any color. You could do it in a brown, gray. Any color is really going to be pretty. You could even do it out of your orange. Center that. Lay it flat. All right. So next up is the centerpiece. And this has a stand and it has 4 score lines. So 1 on each tab and 1 down the center or the side of the stand. I'm going to score those down or fold them down. And then we're going to put tape on the 2 tabs. And the reason this piece, this middle piece, doesn't have decorative panels on this one is because you're really not going to see it. Okay, so we're going to take it and we're going to fold those 2 tabs down, and then we're going to line this up just like we did on the Ladybug. So your stand piece is going to line up in the middle where your score line is on the base card, and the bottom is going to line up. This one you can see your guides through the honeycomb, And so if you want to, you can use that as your guide as well. So we're just going to line that up. Put it right there in the center, line that up. It's right on those placement lines. All right, now we're going to take our beehive and we want to decide where to place it. You can have it down a little bit lower if you want to, or a little bit higher. You want to make sure that it does not come over the edge of your card. But I kind of like to lay this on here and see how much I'm going to actually want to see of my beehive. So I'm thinking that's pretty good, right about there. So all I'm going to do is mark with my finger, and then I'm going to add glue between the two score lines and on that stand piece. So you can see where it is. It's not on the edges. It's just between the two score lines and on the stand. Line that back up. And now that I have this down, now I'm going to go ahead and add my flowers. On the ladybug and on the butterfly, I added the flowers on the background to begin with, but on this one I wanted to make sure that it was kind of around my beehive. So I'm going to first take the medium, one of the medium, and put it on my beehive, and the small one, and put it on my beehive. Whoops, I pulled that right off. And now I can take my other ones and I'm going to put them over here on the side. So I've got my largest one and the medium one. And you can put them together. You could put one over here. But I'm going to take one of my flying bees and add it there. So just going to add this right there. And then I am going to add this flying bee with a pop dot. Totally optional. You could just glue it directly on there if you wanted to. I'm going to add it with the pop dot. And the reason I'm going to do that is because my honeycomb and my bee stripes are the same color. And I want to give it a little bit of dimension so it's not, so they're not blending in. Okay, so far so good. Let's take our front piece and we're going to score it down, the two tabs. And then we're going to put glue on those two tabs right there. Oh, and we want to put our Be Happy on there. So this is what I do to kind of train my card, is I take it between my thumb and my finger and just roll it once or twice. Don't fold it. You don't want it rolled up into a little ball. Just give it a little bit of curve. It kind of trains that to bend. And we're going to go ahead and glue that to the front. Oh, I didn't get any tape on that edge. There we go. And it just goes in between those score lines. And so it's kind of evenly placed. Okay, now we're going to take those tabs, fold it down. And we want this folded edge along the edge of the card, and we want the bottoms to match up. And then do the same on this side. And now we can add the bees, or we could have added them even before we glued that on. So we have two bees. We have the one that's flying in this direction, and then the one with the two wings. And again, I'm just putting glue on the body, not on the head, because I don't want it to stick to the beehive. And the same with this one. Just put the glue on the body. That wasn't very much glue. And there is our Be Happy Curvy card. Fits into that 5x7 envelope. You open it up and then you can display it any way that you want. Okay, one more to go, and that is the butterfly. So I will show you the pieces with this one. Of course, this one has the sentiment as well. This one says thinking of you, and I'm going to go ahead and just roll that. Take it between my thumb and my finger and just kind of roll it. Don't fold it. We just want to give it a little training. This one has 2 flowers for the front. There's our front piece. It has a 3-layered butterfly. So the back, the decorative, and the body. Here's our middle piece, and it has the grass again. And then we have 2 more flowers, the daisies, for the back, and the decorative panels. Let's go ahead and glue our pieces together. The flowers are really simple. Just like they were on the Ladybug, we're just going to glue those centers right down. Unless you colored these from a directional pattern, they can go any direction. There are our 4 flowers, and then our butterfly. We are going to take the decorative wings and glue it to the background wings. Sometimes you have to have lots of little pieces to make the card look right, but when you can get away without it, I try to make them as easy as possible. Okay, there we go. Now let's take our body with the antennas. Don't put glue on the antennas, just put it on the body. I think that little butterfly, the body would be cute, cut out of like glitter paper. Okay, so there's our pieces. We're going to set those aside and do the card. The card has the score line down the middle. It also has the 2 placement lines, which if you're using the embellishment panels will be covered, but they're still there in case you're not or you need them. I just add that right in the center of the right-hand side of the card. And add this one to the left-hand side of the card, centered. Go ahead and glue our little daisy flowers. Our centerpiece, we're going to score all 4 lines. So there's one on this tab, there's one on the right side of the stand, there's one on the left side of the stand, and then this left tab. I'm going to fold those all down or away from us. Okay, let's go ahead and add our grass pieces. And I don't know if you watched the part with the Ladybug. It also had these grass pieces, but I said on that one that if you don't want grass, you could either not cut those pieces out, or you could just cut out some squares and leave them there. Whatever you want to do. This is your card. You make it the way you want it to look. Okay. Let's go ahead and we're going to center this. Whoops, no, first we gotta put tape on our tabs. I got one step ahead of myself. Now fold those tabs completely under, and we're going to center this stand piece right along the middle of the card over the score line. And we're going to match up the bottom. Just like that. Okay, now we want to add our butterfly. So we're going to lay it on the center, and you can have it going straight up. You could have it at an angle. I did my ladybug at an angle, so I'm going to do my butterfly straight up. So I'm just going to lay it right where I want it and mark with my finger, and then we want to just put glue on the stand in between the score lines. We don't want it over the score lines or your card won't pop up correctly. Okay, for the front, I'm going to score the 2 tabs, fold them down. Let's take our sentiment, thinking of you, and we're going to add some tape to it. And center it. And then we can glue our flowers on there. I hope you like these curvy cards. I have a lot more in the makings. I'm doing some beach ones right now, and I have another version of the curvy card, which will have even more on it. I'm excited. Can't wait to show it with you. Okay, so let's put tape on these 2 tabs. And we're going to line up this folded edge of the tab along the edge of the card and match up the bottom. Fold this over and do the same thing, match it up with the edge of that card and fold it along on the bottom. And there we have our thinking of you with the butterfly. Oh, those colors on my camera are not looking all that pretty. It has a really pretty orange I have on there, and it looks kind of fluorescent right there. But anyway, there is your thinking of you card. Once again, all of these cards will fit into the 5x7 envelope, and it has a liner, and I have the video for this card on the same video as I did the teacher and the graduation. So if you're looking for the video for that, that's where you would find it, is with the school curvy cards. So I hope you have enjoyed that video. I hope that you will give one of these cards a try. They are so easy and lots of fun. Thank you for joining me today. Please give me a thumbs up, hit subscribe down below so that you don't miss any of my videos, and have a great day.